Why are you not where you want to be in life? There's probably a plethora or a myriad of reasons to why you're not where you want to be in life. But one of the most important things that a lot of people lack is accountability. So, what even is accountability? So, according to Oxford Languages, the number one Googled dictionary, accountability, which is a noun, is described as the fact or condition of being accountable, responsibility. So, basically, what that means is it's a condition of being responsible for yourself. There's a special focus on you and yourself within this definition. The unfortunate reality for a lot of people, most people I would say, is that they are not accountable at all. For example, everyone's been in school, probably who's watching this video. Most people who are watching the video have been in school. Everybody's took a test before, everyone's got a grade before back on the test. And some people will look at their test and be like, oh, I failed the test because the teacher didn't teach me this. Oh, I failed the test because the teacher graded it wrong. Oh, I failed the test because I didn't get enough time, blah, 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 blah. I swear, people are afraid of being responsible for themselves, and it's wild. And yes, sure, not everyone is completely delusional, but most people do not take enough accountability or as much accountability as they should, especially people who are given extremely high value or people who are giving extremely low value from society. For example, if you're someone who's really, really attractive, really pretty, you can mess up really, really bad, and there'll always be someone ready to take you in with open arms just because you bring a value through your looks. That's how it will always be. And people will be less likely to say mean things to you. They'll be less likely to tell you the truth. In the matter of fact, people will be more quick to hold their tongue just because they want to get your validation because you're pretty, especially desperate and lonely dudes. That's probably the main demographic. As well as someone who's really rich. Obviously, if you grow yourself, you start from the bottom, be rich, you're probably less likely to be unaccountable. But if you're just a kid who grows up, because becoming rich, you have to be very accountable. But if you're just a kid who's born into a rich lifestyle, you're not going to be accountable for your actions at all. Oh, if you get a DUI, you get your fifth DUI of the month, your parents can just hire the number one lawyer and get you free. It's hard to take responsibility for your actions. If you mess up, or for example, if you get into college, you don't have to be accountable. You don't have to think to yourself, oh, is this the right decision for me? Is this the right financial decision for me? Instead, it's already paid for. You don't have to be accountable because anytime you mess up, you always have a safety trap to fall back on. So that's the people who are in the top echelon of society, and that's how they're ranked and viewed by society. The people who are on the extreme one side of the spectrum. On the other side of the spectrum, you have people who may be really unattractive or maybe who really poor. I don't believe in anyone's not a beautiful person or not an unattractive person. It's all societal. So if you're someone who's insecure about yourself, I would definitely just keep working hard and just keep being yourself because God created you the way that you are. I'm not even super religious, but God created you the way that you are, so you shouldn't be upset about that. But I feel like I see a lot of people who are more unattractive, especially dudes. They'll be like, no girls talk to me because girls are superficial. It's the girls' fault. The girls only like guys with six packs and $1 million boats and yachts and stuff like that. Bro, take some accountability. Then people who are very poor, I'm not trying to get on to poor people, nothing like that, or get on to people because most people are not financially stable. Let's just keep it a man. Most people are not financially stable. But I'm not rich because the government's fault. It's the government's fault for me not being rich. Oh, I'm not rich because I'm a minority. It's BLM. I'm not rich. Bro, take some accountability and stop making up excuses for yourself. That's the only way you'll be successful is by taking accountability for yourself and for your actions. Obviously, I'm not saying every single thing is your fault. For example, if your parents were to get divorced, obviously it's not your fault. When I was a young jit out here, I remember when my parents got divorced, I would have to go to these little divorce care, these divorce training or whatever. And in these sessions, they would always be like, it's not your fault, it's not your fault, it's not your fault. And it is not your fault. That's 100% true. And I don't know why kids would think it's their fault. I'm not sure the psychology behind that. But that's something they would always tell me. It's not your fault, it's not your fault, it's not your fault. And that's true. Not every single thing in life is your fault. Okay, I 100% acknowledge that. However, you got to use your judgment and you just have to be judgmental on it and look at it in a third person unbiased view. For example, think of it as if you were sitting on your couch, you had your flat screen TV up, you're in a movie theater even, you could even do that as well. And just think you're seeing your life events on a TV show or a movie. And I want you to think of how you would judge that and whose fault you would say it is. And I would say always lean towards the side of, oh, okay, I'm responsible. Because if you're responsible for something, you can learn from it. If you're not responsible for something, you can't learn from it. If my teacher makes a mistake, I can't correct my teacher or I can't control my teacher. They're going to have to learn from it, not me. So always be responsible, but also understand not every single thing is your fault, but always lean towards accountability. And this whole psychology of behind this just completely baffles me. People run away from their own accountability to I assume, to not feel bad about themselves. But you know what makes you feel a whole lot better? When you're actually accountable, when you're actually working on yourself to the point where you work on yourself so much that you do not feel bad about yourself no matter what happens. People would rather run away from their troubles than conquer their troubles and be the bigger person after. It's wild. It's just a horrible thought process to have. That's why you need to be more accountable. Word of the day, accountability. That's the word of the day. You know what it means to be accountable, what accountability is, why you need to be accountable to be successful. How do you actually physically implement this into your life? So most people will automatically become accountable just through life circumstances. Usually something really bad has to happen for them to become fully accountable and fully aware of yourselves. For example, if there's someone who's an alcoholic, every single night they just be slamming beers down. They just be getting completely blacked out drunk. They have a huge alcohol problem. Yet their family still stays with them. Their kids still love them. Great relationship with their kids. They wake up Monday morning, go to the perfect job. They have the perfect car, the perfect dog, everything like that. They have no incentive to quit because there's no negative consequences. The only way someone will learn, and unfortunately this is how it is most of the time, the only way people will learn is if they start drinking alcohol every day, their wife leaves them, their kids move away, their house gets foreclosed, their job fires them. That's how most people learn. So most people have to become accountable natural. But if you want to speed up this process or you want it to happen without such bad consequences, there is a way that I have figured out to do it. It's seriously not that hard to be accountable. It's really, really, really not that hard. Just watching this video, you automatically become more accountable because it'll be more implemented into your mind. The number one way to be accountable in my eyes is just when something good happens in your life or something really bad happens to your life, you want to just take a step back, maybe 5 minutes, doesn't have to be a long time, and analyze it. Analyze how you and notice how I said you because you're being self-accountable. Accountability is you, how you either caused this event or how you reacted to this event, and think of how you can be more accountable in that situation. For example, I'm going to bring the school example back again, okay? For example, if I get a bad grade on my test or whatever, I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, the teacher graded wrong. My first thought when I look at my test not going to be, oh, the teacher graded wrong. The teacher didn't teach me this. Oh, I didn't get enough time. No, my first thought is, oh, I should have studied more. Oh, I should have been less careless. Oh, I should have tried harder, etc., etc. Once again, I'm not a huge school person, but I am a very accountable person. I'll be taking certain classes, and even if I'm struggling in that class, people around me are going to be like, Miles, isn't that teacher rad? Isn't that teacher bad? And I'm like, I didn't even think about it like that just because I'm so accountable. And I'm just so able to just look at myself, and I know that I'm the controller of my own destiny. I manifest my own destiny, and I'm myself. I'm my own separate entity. Nobody can take full control over me because you're never going to be able to control the teacher going forward. The only person you can control to get better grade on that test is you. You're the one who's going to have to study. You're the one who's going to have to try harder. You're the one who's going to have to be more focused and less careless. That's all you, okay? So stop blaming other people. And after you do that, completely stop thinking about it because it's in the past. You don't need to worry about the past. The past will just make you more stressed out. 10 years ago, if I only had done this, my life could have been so much better. Watch the movie 17 again because that's all that movie is just the guy being regretful about himself. It's actually a very good film. I think it was on Netflix. I don't know if it's on there anymore because the past is in the past, so give it up. You just have to be way, way more accountable. Nobody is going to control your life except you. How you think about yourself and how accountable you are is going to be directly reflected into your life. You think Elon Musk, you think all the most successful people are just unaccountable? Absolutely not. If Elon Musk sitting at his company when he first started his company and he's getting no sales, he's going to think, how can I make my company better? How can I advertise better? How can I hire better staff? How can I do this? He's not going to think of, oh, it's the people's fault because they don't want to buy my company. Oh, it's your fault because you don't want to buy my SpaceX technology. No, it's my fault because I own the business and I want to have the best business. Okay, you have to be 100% accountable. Stop blaming other people in your life and you'll be way more happy if you can just conquer your demons instead of running away from your demons. That's something I have 100% learned. I'm only 16 years old. I don't know it all, but if you did learn something from this video, I hope that you are able to apply it to your life. Take it with you going forward. I wish you success in your life going forward, everything like that. I hope you become a better person. Peace.